Welcome back to RAB Auto. This is Russell. Today we're working on a 2001 Chevy Suburban. It was having a rough idle problem when it was cold. It didn't do it when it was, 40 or above, or if it was, but when it got around in the 20s, it would run real rough. It would want to stall out, idle real low. So not sure if this was definitely the answer or not. Read a little bit that one of the possible causes is the intake gaskets can shrink up when it's that cold and cause a vacuum leak, and that's kind of what it sounded. It sounded like it had a vacuum leak. Anyway, so I figured I'd make a real short video. Not going to do it step by step. Just kind of wanted to give folks that might have a little bit of knowledge, but just the kind of the tips and tricks to make it go a little bit easier. All right, kind of the way I did it. I pulled the 3 bolts off the throttle body and just pulled it forward. That way I did not have to disconnect the coolant hoses to go to the throttle body. I think this is the EGR hose. I took the EGR off and just kind of set it to the side and then pulled the 2 bolts out of the head to give me some slack to loosen this up. That wasn't too bad. Probably one of the hardest things, I had to look this up. There's a little clip that goes to the cruise control that and there it is, right there. Just pop that out and it comes off. The fuel injectors harness was probably one of the biggest pains. They have these little clips that snap over here, and I think you can pull them up halfway and get it out, but I found it easier just to take these completely out. They probably all won't make it back in there, to tell you the truth. And then lastly, this is the fuel line removal tool that I used back there for the 2 fuel lines. Worked pretty good. I've had that for a while. And then the evap line. So I don't know if you can see, there used to be a little clip there on the end. I was trying to push it the wrong way, but once I push the gray thing in, goes pretty easy to pull it straight up and comes off. I did have to snake this evap line underneath the fuel line on the intake manifold, and the brake booster line kind of gets snaked out through there. But other than that, it's the easiest intake manifold I've ever taken off. Once I get it on, I'll let you know if there's any other tricks to getting it back on. Well, everything more or less went back together pretty good. I did not get this back in. It's on the back side of the intake. I think it's probably for sound deadening. Some people say it's to help keep the valley clean for the knock sensors, but it fell out while I was putting it in, and I was going to have to take the intake back out to do it. Could have done it, but I already snaked it underneath the wire harness. Didn't want to, so I'm going to try it like this. Intake's not that bad to get off. If I decide to take it back off, I'll just take it back off again. Anyway, I'm going to get it fired back up. I don't think I'm going to have any issues, so this is probably the end of it. One last thing I did do, when I pulled it off, I got a little dirt and crud down in the a couple of ports. So I taped a piece of heater hose to my shop vac to